Okay, I just spilled boiling coffee on my fucking balls. Oh god. I don't know if I should go to a hospital. Oh god. What you just heard right there was me boiling my balls and wiener inside of hot 200-degree coffee by complete accident. I swear it was by accident, and I had to record that happening. The reason why I recorded it happening is because if I didn't, people would just call me a liar because so many horrible things have been happening to me as of recent. I don't know if I'm just injury prone, if I'm just unlucky, if I got a hex, an omen, a curse. I don't know what's going on, people, but just horrible things keep happening to me, and it happens so often that people just don't even believe me anymore. People think I just make it up. That's camera footage. That is camera footage of me dropping 200-degree coffee on my groin region, and it hurt so bad. It was one of the worst feelings in my entire life, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So about a month ago, here's what happened, guys. I was just chilling, and I decided to take a nappy nap because I was going to stream. I was going to stream on my main channel known as Cold Raven's Nest, which almost has 100,000 subscribers if you would like to know, and you should go subscribe over there. But here's the point. On Cold Raven's Nest, I like to show up to my streams late. I show up to all my streams late. Doesn't matter what channel I'm on, but I show up to them 10 to 15 minutes late because sometimes I like to grab coffee, sometimes I like to take a shower, and sometimes I like to get a nappy nap. Guys, you gotta understand, I'm only human after all, and my ass cheek is itching. Itch that. Don't put the blame on me. I'm digging in there, twin. Point is, guys, I took that nappy nap. I was counting sheep. Later that day, I started counting my lucky stars, which came out to a total amount of 0. So I get up, and people are like, where's Cold Raven at? Where's Cold Raven at? He's like 2 minutes late. And I was like, you know what? You're mad that I'm 2 minutes late. You can add another 10 minutes to that one. So I started getting dressed, started walking down the block. I'm like, man, I'm going to go get this coffee because I had this coffee. It's called Brazilian Bold at 7-Eleven. And it's exclusive to my 7-Eleven. I went to New Jersey. They don't have the Brazilian Bold. I know that because I was there. I went to New Jersey and I got the Brazilian Bold. They have the Colombian, which, you know, Colombian coffee is pretty good, but that Brazilian Bold, I'm telling you, that Brazilian Bold, my favorite coffee ever. It tastes like straight up like fuel. It tastes like rocket fuel. You drink it and you're just, I'm telling you right there, it's like 2 or 3 Monster Energy drinks packed into one coffee, and I get it like it's so big so you get like 3 to 4 doses in it. Love it. You can hear it in my voice right now. Check it out. I go into the 7-Eleven. I'm sitting there. I'm humming my happy song. It goes a little something like, Oreo, if you know what that is. What it is, I start getting this coffee, and the problem with this 7-Eleven, even though it has the exclusive, very awesome, limited edition Brazilian Bold coffee, it does not have these holders. You know, like you grab the coffee cup and you put it in this, like this cardboard holder so you don't burn the fucking shit out of your hand. Well, this 7-Eleven decides not to have those, so what you have to do is you put the lid on the shit, and you better make sure that lid's in there. And you better make sure it makes the click and the popping noises, otherwise you will face a destiny nobody wants to face. And that's the one that I had to. And I started making sure it was clicked in there, and I grabbed it from the bottom, and from the top to the bottom to top and stop. Anyway, I grabbed the coffee from the bottom, I put it on the counter, and I paid for it. I then grab it from the top, and I start walking out the building, this establishment in which I had just purchased this beverage to make me waked up. I don't know what happened, y'all. The bottom of my coffee cup just decided to run the fuck away. It just decided to split up, and instinctually, I couldn't control this. It was just human instinct. You know when you drop something so you immediately go to grab for it? It just happened. I couldn't control that. Instinctually, as the bottom of the coffee just like, it just, I don't know, it just decided to run away. I went to wrangle it up, and I did like a bear hug, but because it was falling down so low, when I hugged it, it like hit me in my belly button region, like my navel. That's what you would call it, the navel. And it squeezed all of this coffee that just splashed me my belly button. It splashed me my abs. It hit me, and it went all over my groin. It went on my Peter. It started boiling my eggs, and I was sitting there, and I was like, woo. And when that happened, there was a car parked in front of me that had this old woman and this younger guy, probably like a 30-something-year-old man, and it's probably his mother. She was like 60 or something. They're probably just hanging out for the day. And she was like, oh, are you okay? And this guy was like, oh, right? Because you could see the steam literally coming off my groin area. You could literally see the steam coming. How do I know? Because I was fucking there. I was looking down at the shit. I looked at them, and then I looked down. Then I looked at them again, and I looked down. And the reason why I was doing this and I wasn't screaming, because I knew I was fucked. How did I know I was fucked? I knew I was so fucked because when the coffee hit me in my groin and my belly button, it wasn't hot, it was cold. Do you know how hot a liquid has to be that it confuses your nervous system? Yeah, that's how hot it was. So hot it confused and rewrote my nervous system functions. And I sat there and it felt like I just pulled out of a Yeti. And I'm like, damn, that's really, really cold. Whew. And it was numb. And this prickly sensation started to coming about, right? And then it just hit me in one go. And I tell you right now, it hurt so bad. Like instantly it went from being cold and numb, shout out to Linkin Park, to just hurting so bad. I hit one of these shits. This is what I did. I started jogging away. I just started jogging away. I didn't know what I was running from, and I didn't know where I was running to. But I just started jogging away. I threw the coffee inside of this like little bin. I started jogging like up this building to the side of this building. And then I took out my phone. I started recording that. So you guys will know I'm not making this up. And then what happened was I just was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to yell for. I didn't know who to scream for. And then I just started running. I started sprinting. I'm dead ass. This is what happened. I started sprinting home. I never booked it so hard. Mind you, this 7-Eleven, probably a little bit under a mile away from my house. Mind you, this is not like a crazy walk. It's about a 9-minute walk for me. Yo, I sprinted home. I literally ran a mile in probably like, I'm not even gonna hold you, probably 3 minutes. Probably 3 minutes flat if I didn't skim off a couple seconds. Probably like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I sprinted this mile. I was booking it. I was running so fast, my shoes almost flew off my fucking feet, y'all. I was just running so fast. Like, you ever run so fast that your ears start whistling the wind? The shit was like, I'm serious. I was going like 19 to 20 miles per hour. The wind was whistling from the holes in my head. Yo, I ran so fast, yo. My clothes were just coming off. Once I made it home, and that was the only thing that was going through my head, was like me imagining myself running up the stairs. That was the only thing that was going through my head. Me running up the stairs and just getting in that shower and putting on cold water. That was all that was running through my head. And I'm just sprinting, y'all. Mind you, I was a former running back. I was a fullback and middle linebacker. And I ran like a 4.6 40 back in the day. Point is, I was running, y'all. I was hauling ass. I got home, opened up the door. I ran up there. I didn't even lock the front door. The front door was left open. I didn't give a shit. And people coming in my house, I didn't care. At this point, I just need to get in that shower. I peeled off my clothes. Yeah, I ran this water so cold. Oh. See right there, I got the shakes. That felt so good. Yo, when I put that cold water on, I tell you what, yeah, I felt so good. That was incredible. That was one of the best feelings I had in my life. Hitting that cold water when it hit my skin, I was like, oh, man. That was what's up. Oh, that was... oh, man. Yo, that made the pain go away almost instantly. Euphoric. Okay, if there was a word for it, euphoric. Oh, I just remember sitting in that shower, like, just soaking it all in. Melting. I was melting under the shower head. And then what happened was, after it all became numb from like the coldness, it felt so good just thinking about it. Oh, sensational. I jumped out of the shower, and then the burning got so much worse. The burning got so much worse. So what I did is there was this pattern where I would like get out of the shower for like 10 to 20 minutes. I would like jump around and like, and then I would jump back in the shower. And I would get out. And I kept doing that back and forth for like 3 or 4 hours straight. And then it hit me what you have to do, because it's not the first time I've been burned like this. Unfortunately, what you have to do is you have to just stay away from the cold, and you just gotta let your nervous system boss it out. And then once I came to that conclusion, I was like, man, I just gotta lay in the bed. Just thinking about it, so bad. It was so bad. And so I laid in bed. I took off my tank top. I took off my shorts. Just straight up manspreading, as they would call it. That burning sensation. I can't describe it. The burning sensation was so bad. It was so bad. I just remember sitting there. I was just sweating so bad. And I was looking down. It was like turning purple almost, and I was like pulling the skin of my scrot. I was like looking at it like it was a map. I was like reading all the details, and I was like, well, X marks the spot where it burns. Oh God. It was so bad. It was so bad, I actually fell asleep from the pain. The pain was so bad, I fell asleep. And I woke up from the pain and fell asleep from the pain. This happened multiple times over. And I just had to boss it out. Oh, God. Have mercy. Have mercy. That was just so bad. Dude, I actually have PTSD from that, if that's a thing, right? Post-traumatic stingy dick disorder. So mad. And what happened was I became Ben Grimm in the groin. You know Ben Grimm, that's the thing. Because what happened was, this is true, this actually happened. It started healing up and my wiener became scaly. It did, this happened. This is disgusting. I'm keeping it gangster, y'all. And maybe you don't want to hear this, but this is too much information. My whole entire channel is too much information, people. But what happened was, after like a day or two, all the redness turned scaly. So I was looking at my wiener, and it looked like the thing. And I had like all these scales. It was like braille, and I was running my fingers across it. I was like, oh my God. It was like I got mummified, and I had no feeling in it. And I was like, yo, I think I'm infertile. Which isn't true, because I opened up Instagram and rest assured it started working again. And yo, you're about to hear something disgusting, right? I went into the shower. Yeah, I'm just constantly cleaning it because I want to make sure I don't get an infection. It's very important. So I had like this antibacterial soap and dial soap and all this. It's like antifungal and blah, 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 antifungal, and all this antibacterial soaps. And I'm just, cleaning my groin and all this, making sure, it doesn't get infected. I don't want that to get infected. And then it's you ready for this one? I started like peeling off, and I'm like, ooh, Johnny jerky. I started making my own jerky factory. Ooh, some Johnny jerky. I started eating them. I was like, oh my God, so much protein. No, real shit though. Yo, I mean, not wave my hand in my face. I was just itching my butt with this. But it's going to use the other hand. So why we got two. You got one for the ass itches and the other one for the hand talking. So what happened was, all the scales started coming off. And this is very important. Once all the scales came off, took me about a week to fully heal up. Dog, I needed that. Yo, there was, like, how do I say this? Let me put it this way. Right? You ready? I think that was what they would call a necessary evil. It's horrible, but it was necessary. Because my wiener has never been smoother. Rejuvenated, actually. Because when, like, the skin peeled off, I had, like, a fresh layer under it. Oh, it was beautiful, actually. It's my groin I'm talking about, by the way, just for context. It was so smooth. It was like fresh out the factory. You know what I'm saying? It was fresh out the factory. I was like, this isn't mine. Is that mine? It's mine. Yeah, it was smoother than the inside fold of your forearm. Like this part right here was smoother than this. Yeah, that's like my favorite part of the body right here. This part of the body, my favorite part. The inside fold of a forearm. It's so smooth. Just so smooth. Right? I don't know why is that so smooth. Has anybody else noticed that? This part of your forearm is just so smooth. And I like that part because when I was a kid, and I used to, cuddle with like my aunt because I was a baby. I was like 3 years old. I used to rest my head there like that, and I would sleep. My aunt's arm would be like this. I used to put my head there. That's just my ass itching hand again that I'm touching my face with. But anyway, I used to put my head there because it was just so smooth. It's just such a smooth surface. And I would just like fall asleep. And she's like, Johnny, you're drooling on me. I'm like, ah. And it would happen. And I started falling asleep watching Dora. And the Power Rangers was fighting and shit. Oh man, they're calling the putties. That's real stuff, right? The Power Rangers were fighting the putties. I think it was the Dino Thunder one I used to watch. I used to watch Dino Thunder. That was the Power Rangers. Dino Thunder. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z. No, I still watch Dragon Ball Z. What am I talking about? And I'm awesome on Gekishin Squadron. Anyway, guys, let me tell you what. Smooth. As smooth as it gets. Let me tell you what. I was actually impressed. It was like a pastel. Like an artistic pastel was growing from my waist. But I've made a full recovery. Full-on recovery. A recovery like Eminem's 6th album. Not counting Infinite. Okay, hold on. Sim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show, Encore, Relapse. Recovery, like Eminem's 6th album. Not counting Infinite. That's the end of the video. Like, favorite, share, most, comment, subscribe, your boy, There's your story time. Now shut up. I'll probably do it like a double upload today. Yeah, I probably will. I don't do those anymore. Well, I'll do one today. That's an ugly ass fucking face. That was a really ugly face. Yeah, oh, your face is always ugly. Yeah, your mother. Anyway, y'all have a good one for that coffee. Whoa, 2 thumbs down. Come on. Peace. Yeah.